Is your mind holding you back? Defeat self-sabotage and unlock peak performance. Unmasking the hidden enemy in your mind. Part 1. What is self-sabotage? Have you ever felt like you're running in circles? As if something inside you is slamming on the brakes? Everything seems aligned. You have goals, energy, plans, but suddenly, you freeze. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of ability. It's something deeper, something lurking in the shadows of your mind. What if I told you that something might be you? You're afraid of succeeding because success brings responsibility, exposure, change. And sometimes, your mind would rather keep you small. Welcome to the first step in uncovering the invisible enemy of high performance: mental self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is sneaky. It doesn't show up with a neon sign. It blends into your daily thoughts, your routine, your habits. Here are 3 clear signs to start noticing it. Or compared yourself to someone on social media, feeling you'll never measure up. Maybe you've felt the weight of being one step away from something big, only to feel something pull you back. You're not good enough, or you'll fail again. It's like a movie critic who only points out flaws. Perfectionism is self-sabotage disguised as care. It makes you believe it's better to do nothing than to do something imperfect. Every time you give in to it, you reinforce a cycle of frustration. I'll show you how it traps you in cycles of self-disappointment and what you can do, starting today, to break that pattern. Shall we keep going? It weighs on your mental health, fuels anxiety, and makes you feel like you're always falling short of who you could be. Like the video and don't miss the next part. The worst part, you start believing that's just how things are, but they're not. Spoiler, perfection doesn't exist. Progress does. It's not the truth, but it feels so real you believe it. Start paying attention. When does it show up? What does it say? Write those phrases in a notebook. Seeing them on paper helps you spot the pattern. Throughout the day, jot down every time you notice a self-sabotaging thought. It could be "I'm not good enough," or "what if I fail?" Just by observing, you start taking away its power. That's self-sabotage at work. Today, we're diving into what this mechanism is that keeps you from reaching your full potential. Procrastination is self-sabotage convincing you that the right moment is always in the future. Alert! The right moment is now. We'll explore how it disguises itself, how it speaks in your voice, and most importantly, how you can start to spot it. Get ready. This journey isn't just about understanding the problem, but about taking back control of your mind and your life. It's yours. Mental self-sabotage is like an internal program running in the background, convincing you to stay in your comfort zone, even if it means giving up on your dreams. It's an unconscious mechanism rooted in the fear of failure, or worse, the fear of success. What is mental self-sabotage? Our brains are wired to protect us. They prefer the familiar, the safe, even if it's mediocre. Stepping out of your comfort zone? That takes energy, courage, and facing the unknown. So, the mind creates barriers, procrastination, doubts, comparisons, all to keep you safe. But safe isn't the same as happy or fulfilled. Picture a voice whispering, "You're not ready. This isn't for you." Or, "What if it all goes wrong?" That voice doesn't come from outside. Why does this happen? Practical examples? Who hasn't put off an important task, like starting a project or studying for a test, just because it wasn't the right time? Phrase to lock in your mind: you're not afraid of failing. How do you start spotting this inner enemy? The first step in winning any battle is knowing your opponent. The inner critical voice. You know, that internal dialogue that says, "Paralyzing perfectionism." Have you ever held off on starting something because it wasn't perfect? A paper, a video, a workout? Disguise procrastination. "I'll start tomorrow. I need more time to plan." How many times have you said this? Practical tip for today. Grab a notebook or your phone's notes app. Why does this matter so much? Self-sabotage isn't just a bump in the road. It's a silent thief that steals your energy, confidence, and achievements. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into the devastating impact of self-sabotage on your mental health and performance. If you've ever felt that inner voice holding you back, drop a comment with the pattern that sabotaged you most today. Part 2. How self-sabotage wrecks your mental health and performance. Shall we keep going? In the first part, you learn what mental self-sabotage is and how it hides in your thoughts, keeping you stuck in your comfort zone. Now, let's dive deeper. How does this invisible enemy impact your mental health and performance? Spoiler: the effects are more serious than you might think. But don't worry, understanding the problem is the first step to transforming it. Let's do this together. The toll of self-sabotage on your mental health. Think of your mind as an engine. When it's finely tuned, it takes you far with power and efficiency. But when self-sabotage creeps in, it's like pouring sand into the gears. Every negative thought, every delay, every unnecessary comparison is a tiny crack in your confidence. Every time you give in to it, it claims more space in your mind. But here's the good news: you're not doomed to live like this. Change starts when you decide to face this inner enemy with courage and strategy. And the best part? You already have everything you need inside you to win. Over time, those cracks turn into holes. The result? Grab a piece of paper and write down a goal you've been putting off out of fear or insecurity. Want to know how? Let's keep going. Next to it, note what held you back: fear of failure, judgment, success. This clarity is the first step to breaking the cycle. You start believing you're not capable, that success is for others. The worst part? It traps you in a smaller version of who you could be. High performance isn't about working harder or being perfect. It's about aligning your mind with your goals. But with self-sabotage in charge, you're stuck in a loop of frustration, where every attempt feels like a step backward. Anxiety, stress, and a constant feeling that you're never enough. Self-sabotage doesn't just drain your mental energy, it fuels a vicious cycle. You procrastinate, feel guilty about procrastinating, and that guilt makes you procrastinate even more. Sound familiar? It's like you're trapped in a chain you built yourself. Whether it's at work, in school, in relationships, or even in your spiritual life, self-sabotage is a silent brake. It stops you from achieving goals that are within your reach. How many times have you held back from sharing an idea at work because you feared judgment, or abandoned a personal project because it wasn't good enough? That's not a lack of talent, it's your mind tricking you. This cycle can lead to anxiety, insomnia, and even burnout because you're fighting yourself all the time. That's not living, it's surviving. The impact on your performance. Now, let's talk about performance. In the long run, this pattern erodes your self-confidence. Why you need to act now? Self-sabotage doesn't just go away with time. Without intervention, it gets stronger. Practical tip for today: take 5 minutes tonight. In the next part, we'll explore practical tools to defeat self-sabotage and turn your mind into your greatest ally. Part 3. Practical tools to conquer self-sabotage. Today, shall we keep going? So far, you've learned what self-sabotage is and how it wreaks havoc on your mental health and performance. It's like carrying an invisible weight that stops you from running at the speed you deserve. But here's the good news: you can drop that weight. It's like a thief sneaking into your house without a sound. If you don't turn on the light, you'll never know you're being robbed. Start observing your thoughts. When you feel the urge to put off something important, ask, "Why am I doing this?" When that inner voice says, "You're not capable," question, "Is this true? Or is it just fear talking?" If the current program is, "You'll fail," it's time to rewrite the code. Realistic affirmations are a powerful tool. Instead of saying, "I'm perfect," try something like, "I'm learning and growing every day." These phrases, when repeated consistently, start replacing the critical voice with a supportive one. The truth: small daily wins are the secret to high performance. Start with something simple: tidy your desk, do 5 minutes of meditation, or finish a task you've been delaying. Each small victory strengthens your confidence and weakens self-sabotage. And stacking wins, you start building a new narrative: you're capable, you're enough, you're in control. And that changes everything. In this part, we'll explore practical, simple, and transformative tools to defeat self-sabotage and turn your mind into your greatest ally. And turning your mind into a fortress for high performance. Want to know how? Let's keep going. Maybe it's replying to an email or taking a 10-minute walk. Do it today. no excuses. Celebrate that win, even if it feels small. That's the fuel for change. Ready to turn the tables? Self-awareness, the power of knowing your patterns. The first step to beating self-sabotage is seeing it. Write it on a sticky note and place it on your mirror or phone screen. Read it aloud every morning. It sounds simple, but this repetition builds new pathways in your brain. Practical action. Set aside 10 minutes a day for a self-awareness exercise. Grab a notebook and jot down your self-sabotaging thoughts. For example, I didn't finish the report because I think it won't be good enough. Seeing these patterns on paper helps you realize they're not facts. They're just mental habits. And habits can be changed. Mental reprogramming. Rewrite your mind's script. Your mind is like a computer. It runs the programs you install. Practical action. Pick an affirmation that resonates with you, like, I'm capable of taking the next step. Small wins. Build confidence with emotional discipline. Self-sabotage loves to convince you that you need big achievements to prove your worth. Practical action. Pick a small task you've been avoiding. Why this works. These strategies aren't magic, they're based on how our minds function. By observing your patterns, reprogramming your thoughts. In the next part, we'll talk about seeking outside support. Which of these practical actions are you starting today? Drop it in the comments and share your journey. Like, and don't miss the next part. Part 4. Turn your mind into a powerhouse for peak performance. Shall we keep going? So far, you've uncovered what self-sabotage is, understood its toll on your mental health and performance, and learned practical tools to start tackling it. Now, in the final part, we're leveling up. How do you turn your mind into a fortress that fuels high performance? Sometimes, an outside perspective helps you see what's holding you back. A mentor, therapist, or group of like-minded people can make all the difference. They help you spot patterns you miss and keep you motivated to move forward. We'll talk about seeking support, building emotional discipline, and treating your mind as your greatest asset. Ready to take charge of your life? It could be a productivity coach, a therapist focused on personal growth, or an online community for self-improvement. Talk to someone who's been where you are. That connection might be the push you need. Seek support. You don't have to do this alone. Maybe it's listening to music that lifts you up, reading an inspiring book, or just sitting in silence. Small moments of self-care strengthen your mind for big wins. Self-sabotage is an inner enemy, but that doesn't mean you need to fight it solo. Like, share with someone who needs this, and subscribe for more content on performance and mental balance. Let's evolve together. Practical action. Research a support group or professional who resonates with you today. Self-sabotage may be an obstacle, but it doesn't define you. When you observe your patterns, seek support, and treat your mind with care, you don't just beat the inner enemy, you build a life of balance, energy, and purpose. Your mind can be a prison or a fortress. The choice is yours. Discipline your mind with focus and clarity. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Feed it with positive thoughts, proper rest, and moments of joy. Avoid burnout. Carve out time for self-care, whether it's a walk, a hobby, or a good night's sleep. A well-cared-for mind is the foundation for a balanced, fulfilled life. Emotional discipline isn't about ignoring your feelings, it's about directing them. This daily practice is like a workout for your mind, building clarity and direction. For example, when you feel like procrastinating, pause for a second and take a deep breath. Ask, what do I gain by acting now? That conscious pause helps you take back control. Practical action. Create a 5-minute morning routine to align your mind. It could be meditation, writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or visualizing your goals. Treat your mind as your greatest asset. High performance isn't about working yourself to exhaustion. It's about nurturing your mind with care, like you would a race car. Practical action. Today, set aside 15 minutes for something that recharges you. Your mind is your fortress. We've reached the end of this journey, but it's just the start of your transformation. Which self-sabotage pattern are you tackling first? Share your story in the comments.